So we got a live feed here. We're wondering, what makes the world go around? What makes this day so special? What makes life special? What makes individuals special? What makes the movies? What makes the news? What makes technology? Is there aliens? Is life a bowl of cherries? What is mental illness? Is mental illness something that only Democrats or only Republicans have? Or only religious people have? Or only atheists have? Do we think we are the ones that make more sense more than everybody else? What do you think in the comments? Is mental clarity what we need? We have to see if our mental capacity of understanding life and life more abundantly is going to make it. Are we going to make it to the end of this crisis of the bug? Is the germ bacteria? Is it on purpose? Probably not. Was it an accident? Was it people who weren't trying hard enough to do the right thing? Was life a bowl of cherries for most people, but not for you? Maybe you've never been in the pit. Do you believe in suppression? Do you think you're suppressed? How do you get your story out there? How do you open up your mind to new realities? How do you try your hardest to make it in life? Do live videos make it more possible to integrate reality? Are we going to be more cyborgs in the future? Cyborgs in the middle of reality? Are we going to have computers connected to our brains soon? Are we going to live forever now in a computer world? Maybe we've always lived forever. I mean, we have a physical body, we have a physical brain, and if you affect the physical brain, you affect the personality, you affect the person. If you remove the frontal lobe, you're not as conscious, but your subconscious is still functioning. Are you aware, self-aware? How self-aware are you? Are you more self-aware than the guy next door? Are you trying to cause trouble? Or are you trying to be a peacemaker? What is life all about? Is war inevitable? Do we love each other so much that we have to shoot each other? That doesn't even make sense. Maybe it's like, maybe we don't make much sense. But when we do, we'll figure it out later. Do we try to control and manipulate others? Is the guy who has all the questions have all the answers within inside themselves? Or is reality a looking at the reality of what? At the reality of problems, the reality of situations? Do we know what makes the world go around? Do you make the world go around? Do you want to be part of society, or do you want to be a hindrance to society? If society is all we want, then why do we fight society? Do we want to all work together? Are we afraid? Are we afraid of overpopulation? Are you afraid? Or are you just kind of going, winging it? Trying to do the best. Most people, I think, are just trying to do the best they can with what they got. Some people really want to get into this. You know, will the movie that I want to make about mental illness ever become reality? Yeah, I want to make a movie about mental illness. Yeah, I think it's the key to stop all wars. And maybe if we know how the universe works and the energy is goes and expand. Let's say the universe is expanding. Well, if you could make a little bang in a box, or what I call a beginning box, isn't it possible, with understanding the universe expanding and how it is expanding into the unknown, then can't we do the same inside a box as the universe expands into the unknown? And when the universe expands into the unknown from this beginning box, will that be energy? Will that be energy from this, parallel universe that we create, not just in our mind, but we create this parallel universe in a box. We use not just the mathematics, but the materials, the atoms, the particles, the quarks, the strings. We put it all together. We know the basics of the beginning of the universe. All we need is to know that we don't have to know the whole universe. We don't have to know what an apple tree is. We don't have to understand all the mathematics of an apple tree to put a seed in the ground, water it, grow it, because we know the basics of a seed that makes an apple tree. So if we know the basics of how to create the universe, or how the universe was created, can't we use the basic understanding of the beginning of the universe to create a beginning box? And does this beginning box lead energy sources that we would have the energy source that wouldn't end? It would be timeless, like the universe. Well, is the universe timeless? We'd be able to study the universe on a smaller scale, not just how it began, but how it's expanded. We'd understand more about expansion, besides having energy, because as the energy expands out of the box, we end up using that pressure, heat, or steam, or whatever you want to call it. I call it time energy, or E equals T squared. Time is a chemical and energy state, my friend. Time is moving forward. I know it's hard to understand. Time, is it a substance? Is it space? It's a dimension. But it's also a dimension of dimensions. Without the fourth dimension of time, you can't have the other three dimensions. So as the universe goes, we go back in time, everything gets smaller, the whole universe. It's hard to understand. There's no space. There's no space for you, man. But it grew like a baby. The universe grew like a baby grows in the womb. It's like a seed turns into a tree. It starts with something small and gets bigger. Maybe the whole universe works that way. Maybe we work more like the universe than we understand. How do we expand out of this universe? It's a good question. If we expand outside of this universe, we'd be dead. Because we'd be outside of time, space, and matter. How do you get outside of time, space, and matter? I guess some people call that heaven. Heaven is outside of time, space, and matter? Well, if something created time, space, and matter, then definitely heaven is outside of time, space, and matter, my friend. Now, does that mean we have control of everything outside? No, it just means we're outside of that. Where are we? We're in a timeless state of some sort, I guess. Who knows? What does that timeless state have to do with? Tick, tack, tick, tack, tick, tack. The reality of time is a key factor in understanding the energy of the expansion of the universe. And I love you guys. I know there's a lot of love out there. There's a lot of truth out there. You just got to find it in the midst of all the lies and confusion and distrust. Trust but verify. You have to verify your actions. So I'm saying I don't know if the beginning box is real until you make it. We didn't know an airplane would fly until you flew one. We don't even understand all the mathematics of an airplane. They say there's crafts in the air. They think they're aliens or they don't know what they're doing. I've heard of that. The thing is, you don't know until you can trust but verify. If a man says something or a woman says something, you can believe them. You trust that what they're saying. But if it's but you have to verify it to know it's true. Knowing something's true and believing something's true, there is a difference. Big difference. It's a black and white difference. It's like color TV. Does TV help us to get along with one another? Or is TV a hindrance? Is life fictional? If you're on Facebook, give me a like. We want to reach the nation with this mental health emergency. When we realize we're in a mental health emergency, you're going to understand the frustration of the movie. It wants to be made. Because if the movie's not made, war will begin. War. We don't want war. We want a movie. We want a movie that's about mental illness. Because when you take away the movie factor of reality, or the documentary or reality of reality, you understand that this documentary is taking place right now. So it's like on the go documentary, on the go. It's like a live documentary, never been done before. A live documentary. But then no one will want to see it at the movies. Yeah, because they don't know the plot. Because there's 20% fiction in our movie. It's a little bit of medicine, a little bit of sugar makes medicine go down. Okay? And what is this sugar? Is it good for you? Well, just a little bit of sugar, so it can't be that bad for you. You gotta have a little bit of anything won't hurt you. A little bit of sugar won't hurt you, put it that way. Come on, let me tell you where it's at. Come on, let me tell you where it's at. The name of the place is I like it like that. We are one in the spirit. We are one in the Lord. We are one in the spirit. We are one in the Lord. And they'll know we are Christians by the love. By the love, yes, they'll know we are Christians by our love. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. Yeah. I can dig it. I can dig it. I can really dig it. Do you love your fellow man? Do you love Christian style? Christian style is like Kung Fu. It doesn't always work, but it's good for you. So, Kung Fu works in certain form of fighting. And when something's going wild, man, crazy karate. Oh, man. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Life would be interesting if we weren't so slow. We must be slow to let them know. We are trying to make a buck. Everybody's trying to make a buck. $20 a book. And I'll make you $20 more a evening. And when I get done with my evening, you'll understand, you understand the beginning trailer. We don't want no cigar. We want a fiddle. We want a fiddler on the roof. Yeah. I mean, I have tried to commit suicide, man, so I know what mental illness is. It'll mess you up. You might not make it. And if you do, you're a sucker if you're lucky. You're a sucker if you're lucky. And then you learn how to take care of others that are sucker for lucky. You can't take care of someone that's already dead. Now, some people say you can't pray or talk to the dead, you know, because the Old Testament says so. But if you're a Christian, those rules don't apply because now you're in heavenly places. You're in the midst of what they call heaven. And some people don't believe heaven exists. That's fine. And if you believe that, then no, it wouldn't work that way because you can still pray for them, you can still talk to them, but they're supposed to be in the ground. We got one we're not, some people say we were never really born, or we were born alive, or something, or life lived and death dies. That's what I believe. Life lives, death dies. So what's going to live forever? Love. Is love the most powerful, amazing thing on earth? Is it more powerful than a locomotive? Train? Superman? What? Love. Now you meet someone in person and they tell you something really personal, and other people think they're weird. You might think they're weird at one time, but they're your friend. You're not weird, man. You're my friend. I know I'm weird and I'm a friend. No, I'm not like super weird. No. Only that's only for the special people. Only the special people are super weird. Super weird. Yeah. We are able to go up and take the country and possess the land of Jordan to the sea. Though there may be giants there before us, God has given us the victory. We are able to go up and take the country and possess the land of Jordan to the sea. We shall overcome by the blood of the Lamb, and we shall have the victory. The movie, the world now. The movie, the world could be a better place for you. The world could be a better place. can make it. You try, you're going through. The Lord's gonna show you just what to do. You can make it. I don't care what's going on. You're so crazy, you gotta get along. Okay. Enough for you today. Oh my, apple pie. Oh my, apple pie, apple pie. The movie must go on. The movie must go on. Hi-ho the dairy-o. The movie must go on. The movie must go on. The movie must go on. Hi-ho the dairy-o. Now this movie, as we capture the movie, this is the way it's gotta go. So you capture the movie, you put it on like what they call a app. Your thing goes to an app, and if it goes to the movie, then you would get whatever movie royalties there would be. So the movie royalties are about the movie, about both of us trying to get by. Trying to get by. We're just trying to get by. Trying to get by. We're just trying to get by. There is nothing, I mean nothing like Sara Lee. You might say, well, why do I eat so much? Because there's nothing like Sara Lee. It's top secret. So top secret formulas can make you gain weight, sometimes not. Can actually make you more healthy in a sense, because you're like, maybe you're starving to death and you need a Twinkie. But you might feel like you're starving, maybe you are in some kind of weird way. Maybe your body is not breaking down the food naturally. I know that's what it is. I get hungry, I eat. I don't get hungry. Now the flesh of your body, the body hungers. It doesn't know right from wrong. It's the spirit man, or the conscious awareness of yourself, which I call the spirit man. It knows the difference between good and evil. But the flesh doesn't. It just wants to consume, like a robot. You know, you feed garbage in, garbage out. But these new robots might have a soul, which is interesting, because if they did, or at least act like they did, there's an I statement involved. They understand that they are the I, they exist. That's why when, God called himself I, he was letting you know that he has a consciousness, he's aware. Now some people think that there's not a God because if there was a God, he would have done A, B, and C. Because he was omnipotent. They can see all the reasons why God would have done what God should have done. I mean, if there was a God, then they feel like he should have done A, B, C, and D. And since he didn't, there is no God. Could be a valid point to some. And, they might be right. Now, you might say, well, see, at least I got my point across to the man. Well, thank you. I got your point a long time ago. It's just that you don't get my point. I believe that God is, and I don't understand everything my friends do, but I think they're good people. You might say, well, they ain't perfect. If God was perfect, he'd do everything right. Well, he would make us more perfect, right? I don't know. I mean, if God was perfect, why didn't he just make us more perfect? Or something. Maybe he wanted to do it this mysterious way. Maybe it's the only way that it can be done. Does God have an only way to his arsenal? His arsenal of weapons of mass destruction? No, God doesn't want mass destruction. I mean, if we think that, we'll end up killing each other. Because we'll think that that's what the higher power of us wants, is to fight. But no. Does he want us to go crazy and take a lot of medicine? Maybe. Well, I think the madness comes from the behaviors that we have. We have a tendency to make laws that seem to govern a situation, even though these raw laws may be written down in a book or somewhere, which laws are important. We're a country of laws in the United States. We're a country of laws. Now, but when you realize that, you realize where's the love factor in laws. Now, hopefully you got all the cornerstones of the truth and justice in the American way, standing fast in the liberty of the Lord. Now, you could say, well, the Pope don't do dope, so therefore he's okay. Well, see, there's a okay and having a problem. Now, you might say, well, I don't think that gay people should get married, or no, he didn't say that. He said same-sex marriages. The thing is, the point of that, I think, is not so much that the sin that he's trying, I don't know what he's trying to focus on, but I don't think the sin, if it is a sin, I mean, people say, well, it's not really a sin. Well, maybe a lot of things really isn't a sin. And what I'm trying to get at, the point I think that the church was making, you tell me what you think about this, people, but maybe he's saying that marriage, okay, not that you guys ain't invited to church, but that marriage itself is to make babies. That's why they don't believe in birth control, because they believe that marriage is to make babies, pretty much. I mean, that's the basic law of marriage. I mean, you gotta have babies. You don't have to have babies, right? You could be a married couple, get married, not able to have any children. That's the teaser that they're still trying to figure out today. But I'm sure that they really believe in having babies. That's why they don't believe in birth control of any type, except maybe the rhythm method. The rhythm method. It's about time. It's about space. You gotta understand that time, space, and energy were developed or created at the beginning of the universe. At the beginning of the universe, if there is a beginning, then it was nothing like we see. That's why scientists have broken down that maybe we came from nothing, because time, space, and matter doesn't make sense when you break it up. I mean, it makes sense, but because we live in time, space, and matter, but how it got here is hard to understand. So it almost seems like that time, space, and matter was here in some odd way, but it wasn't the way it is now. There's just no way that time, space, and matter could exist the way it exists today. Or if it did, it in a different format. Like maybe they were developed or created in a lab in some other universe. I believe it was God, okay, a higher power, this creator